The Chicago Bulls put on an absolute show in New York at the Garden against the New York Winds, and they get the dub. Was this the best performance yet from Zach LaVine? We're going to talk about it all and more, but first, we got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize. More importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the content today. The Bulls put on an absolute show. This game comes down to the wire, and it's won by Kobe White making three-pointers at the end of the game. Then Patrick Williams getting a stop on Jalen Brunson. But the story of today is going to be the all-around play by Zach LaVine. 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 block, 2 steals. He did have 6 turnovers, but he was plus 21 from the field. And Zach LaVine put on an absolute clinic today against the New York Knicks. When the lights was brightest, Zach LaVine shunned the most when it came down to it. 22 points as well from Kobe White in this game with 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 rebound, 3 turnovers from him. 18 points from Patrick Williams, 11 of those coming in the first half of this game, 19 and 11 from Nikola Vucevic. Josh Giddey with 5 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 16 points coming off the bench with Ayo Dosunmu as well. And this was another one of those games that every single Chicago Bull played a part into this win. Even Jalen Smith, even though he was scoreless, Dalen Terry had some good defensive moments. Julian Phillips hit some big shots in this game as well. We did see Modest Bucilis with 12 points, and Billy Donovan restricted that lineup, still a 10-man rotation, no THT, no nothing like that. And this was one of the most fun games you were going to watch. The stage, as far as it being in Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks, Zach LaVine coming out to play, the number of plays on both sides of the ball that Zach LaVine had today was amazing to watch. Zach LaVine is playing with a level of confidence and poise, yet again, that we just have not seen in the last couple of years from Zach LaVine, and it's really good and refreshing to see. The Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks did battle in this game. While I'm going to talk a lot about the Bulls, we cannot overlook the third quarter comeback that the Knicks had in this game. The Knicks in the second half of this game scored 76 points in the second half of this game. 76 points, 38 each in the third and the fourth quarters, and the Bulls really needed to hold on. This was a fun game to watch. And when you look at basketball games that have that back and forth atmosphere, yeah, the fact that the Chicago Bulls gave up a double-digit lead in the third quarter, giving up a 17-0 run, it sucked, but it made for a good, entertaining night. And the Chicago Bulls dug in this game. In a lot of other opportunities in previous seasons, the Bulls would have gave up when the Knicks took over the lead in the fourth quarter. This Bulls team dug in, they played as a team, and they executed. That's the story of this game for the Chicago Bulls. It's execution on the especially the offensive side of the ball. Still had 18 turnovers, which is too much in this game. We had 31 assists on 44 made baskets, which is really good as well. Still gave up 58 points in the paint as well. Like, that's just the thing with this Bulls team, but the execution was there. Execution was there. Like, hey, entertaining as hell, fun as hell to watch this game, stressful as hell to watch this game. But the way that this Bulls team, again, they did it as a unit. 5 players scoring in double digits. The only starter not to score in double digit was Josh Giddey, and it is what it is there. Josh Giddey, even with his lack of scoring, was still plus 19 on the game, even though plus minus isn't necessarily a hugely indicative stat. He was out there with some of the best lineups. But overall, this was just a really, really good game to watch. And Patrick Williams pretty much aggressive throughout this game. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. And Billy Donovan not only trusted, if you look at the way that this game was going, when Karl Anthony Towns was in his rhythm in that third quarter, Billy Donovan trusted Patrick Williams by putting Patrick Williams on Karl Anthony Towns. Then, down the stretch of this game, when Jalen Brunson got to cooking, Billy Donovan put Patrick Williams on Jalen Brunson. So that even, I know a lot of Bulls fans and a lot of people are going to make a lot out of the scoring that P. Will did in this game, but it was more than just the scoring. The scoring is just a very small part of how Patrick Williams impacted this game. It was defensively. But this is one of those games that you need only 9 shots did Patrick Williams take, but he got 18 points. That goes to show you how being active can impact your output, right? And this is a game that Patrick Williams really got to pay attention to that, because if he did that more times, man, listen, it'll be important. Now, there was Patrick Williams had a redemption moment, because on the play before, the defensive possession before, Patrick Williams got switched on to Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson hit what would have been a game-winning shot. Luckily, Kobe White's able to go down. He draws a foul. He gets to the free throw line for 3 free throws. And then on the next possession, Patrick Williams redeems himself by forcing Jalen Brunson into a bad shot that still almost went in. But, that's just the way it goes with defenders. That's just the way that it goes. This was probably the most fun I've had watching a Bulls game. Stress, make no mistake about it. The stress was there. Very stressful game. My son came downstairs. He was watching the last couple of seconds with me, and my son looked at me and said, "Oh, Dad." I said, "What, son?" He said, you're going to be mad if they lose this game, huh? I said, "Yeah, son." Luckily, we didn't have to worry about it, man. But yeah, man, this was a really good team win, and the Bulls stepped up when they needed it the most, and they showed a lot of resolve. We do got to figure out how to avoid giving up big leads, right? We got to stop being that team. Both teams went on 17-0 scoring runs at one point in this game. It is what it is, but the Bulls led throughout most of this game. The Bulls had the lead for 41 minutes in this game. The New York Knicks held the lead for 3 minutes and 23 seconds. We had 16 lead changes in this game, most of those coming in the second half of this game. 10 of those lead changes coming in the second half of this game. So it was just a nail-biting game down the stretch. And the way that the Bulls were able to perform in this one, man, huge. But, hey, lots of credit as well. Karl-Anthony Towns had an amazing second half, 31 points in just the second half from Karl-Anthony Towns. He went on a ridiculous run that you just cannot take away from what he did in the third and the fourth quarter. Really, really important runs there from Karl-Anthony Towns. And unfortunately, they just weren't able to pull it out. The Bulls made enough plays down the stretch of this game to be able to win this game. And that is a moment, ladies and gentlemen. That's a moment. Now, what can the Bulls learn from this? It seems like they're learning over the last few games, right? Seems like the Bulls are really learning how to close out games. And that was one of the important things coming into the season for the Bulls, is learning how to close out games, since you don't have DeMar DeRozan and his ability to close anymore. And really, they did it via full team effort. When you look at it, no player by the Chicago Bulls had a double-digit scoring quarter in the second half of this game. Kobe did score 9 points in the third quarter, and he scored another 6 points in the fourth quarter of this game. Zach LaVine also scored 6 points, but the Bulls did it as a team. When you look at these breakdowns, Julian Phillips had a nice run. Ayo Dosunmu scored 9 points as well in the fourth quarter of this game, but everybody played their role in this game. And I know the Josh Giddey people, especially via the episode we had earlier today, this was one of the games where Ayo Dosunmu closed out the game. Josh Giddey was out there for 4 minutes of the almost 5 minutes in the fourth quarter of this game, but they went away from him at times because they needed that defense. And the decisions were made down the course of this game. And so, it is what it is. Fun game to watch, amazing game, and the Bulls get to learn from this one. This again, what did I say? Leading into the NBA Cup, building confidence, right? That's the most important thing with this game, is building confidence. And that's what you want to see this team do. Okay. So in a win, I tried my best not to cook somebody, but we got to go ahead and cook somebody. Because first of all, Larry Jam, who's shitting your cereal? The fact that your ugly, remedial, toe jam looking ass got the nerve to come in here trying to shit on stuff while you're sitting there dumb in YouTube comments. Who said anything about winning a championship? Your mama ugly, therefore you're ugly, and that's why you got an ugly spirit and you say dumb shit. So how about you correct yourself, figure yourself out, and stop being a bitch in YouTube comments and learn to enjoy the win. It's okay to celebrate a win. This ain't about winning the championship. Nobody has any misgivings that the Bulls are about to win a championship. Stop being a bitch. Stop whining like a little whore and enjoy the win. Stop trying to shit and yuck on everybody's yum, you fucking dummy. How about you stop doing that, right? You stop doing that. It's bad enough that the universe got to be in existence. Your name is Larry fucking Jam. Go find Earl. You can be Toe Jam and Earl because that's where you belong. Shutting the fuck up. All right? That's what you need to do. Now, I just said I was going to choose peace. But then on a win, a fun game at that, you come in here acting like somebody shitting your fucking cereal, my boy. Go and touch grass somewhere, fam. Go and touch grass. How about you do that? Dumbass, bro. Like just this, everybody just got to come in here with some dumb shit. My bad. He's dead already. All right. With that said, man, it was a really good win to see this team do what they were able to do in this game, man. And I really enjoyed seeing this win and loved it, man. A W is a W, and you just got to appreciate what this team was able to do, man. This was a really fun win, a hard fought win, and they had to do. They had to dig in, and everybody had to contribute from it. So now we're gonna go see what this team learns from this. They got another rematch coming up against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, and that's going to be a really important thing to get that done, man. It's going to be a really important thing. So, but yeah, we'll see what comes about from this win and how this team continues to build off of it, man. Let's go ahead and see how you guys are feeling. My bad, man. I really try not to be ugly about things, but it's like it's a win. Everybody's sitting here celebrating, and he got to come in here with his remedial ass trying to just make a point. I can't believe they got DT plus or minus so horrible. He did not play that. Well, that's what. Listen, I tell everybody, plus and minus is not a great stat that always is indicative of how a player plays. Because keep in mind, if you're out there when a team goes on a big run, but then maybe you don't play as many minutes, but you have some important possessions, it's going to be hard to really get you in a place for your plus minus to turn around, right? So I think that's a big part of it as well. Zach is carrying this team. You can't really say Zach's carrying this team. Not when Kobe White scores 11 points in the second half of this game. Not where the defense, like he definitely contributed. And make no mistake about it. The first half of this game, Zach LaVine was cooking, passing, scoring, getting other players involved. But I'm just saying you can't say Zach LaVine is carrying this team. He's not carrying this team. He's definitely the best player right now, but he's not carrying this team. Everybody had to really step up big time for sure. Haize, my dog, I love you, but this was not fun. I'm about to have a damn heart attack because he's wait, what? Why do you gotta be the N-word? Because these N-words don't know how to close out blowout games. I mean, that's what happens when you go younger, though, bro. When you go younger, it's gonna take time to get everybody on the same page. So, you gotta learn how to win games. You gotta learn how to win games, bro. Always not happy with Zach running off of Brunson as P. Will couldn't stop him. Yeah, but I mean, I get what you're saying there. And switching in that situation is a questionable defensive scheme, right? I think they were hoping that the length of Patrick Williams was going to throw off Jalen Brunson, but Zach had been doing such a good job defensively at that point in time on Brunson that I agree with you. I would have rather see Zach just go ahead and finish that out for sure. A Breezy says, "This is what I meant when I said if we keep clicking like this, we could be dangerous." And you're right. It's just like I said before. The margin of error is very small for this Bulls team. The variance there, right? So, we'll see what it brings. We'll see what it brings. W's in the chat. The third quarter was doo-doo, though. Third quarter that left a lot to be desired. That third quarter left a lot to be desired. That 17-0 run was draining to watch. That 17-0 run had me stressed. Stressed is the word there. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. That a younger me would have had a hole through the wall on that third quarter because I was so frustrated at that third quarter. But hey, let's look at the bright side. They were able to turn it around. Billy has to make subs sooner. Pat was out way too long. He played good on both sides of the floor. Zach was out too long too. Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, that 17-0 run, I think Zach and Giddey were mostly on the floor. On the bench when that happened. I got to go back and look. I can't. I wrote it down in my notes, but for the excitement, I can't remember. Ill Will with the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. Zach LaVine guarding Jalen Brunson for the final play was impressive. Trade that man for two first round picks. That's hilarious, man. This game was peak. This was a very fun game. Very, very fun game for sure. Super chat from Darius Smith. Thank you for supporting the channel. Brother says, Billy has to be better at subbing out the bench sooner in these runs. Pat needed to be in sooner in the fourth. So did Zach. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. I had to tell my mama to STFU the Bulls on after this game. You told that to your mama? To your mama? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Knicks came back with Zach on the bench for the whole. I thought so. See, I just said it. Thank you for Tony. I thought that Zach was on the bench for that whole run. And Billy Donovan just has to find a better way to balance it. Like, I understand that you want, and I said it even in the halftime hangout. Like, you do want to get your players rest, but when the bleeding is that bad, you need to get people back in the game, in my opinion. So, BKR Sports says, I've seen enough. Bulls are going undefeated from here. That is hilarious, man. Supernatural says, yo, the atmosphere here is electric. Love going to the Garden. Loving in NYC as a diehard Bulls fan is very fun. Living is probably what you meant there. Haize, you have to come to NYC and watch a Bulls Knicks game. I've watched was it Bulls Knicks? You know what? Honestly, I think when I went to Madison Square Garden, it was I think it was Knicks Warriors when I went to the Madison Square Garden, and not the Steph Curry Warriors. I think that was the We Believe Warriors season. I think that's what I went to see. That may have been why I can't remember. I think that was the We Believe Warriors season though. Baron Davis. Baron Davis, for those that don't know, was one of my favorite players to watch. So I think he got upset because I said we're going undefeated from here. Shut up. Oh, shut up. We ain't worried about it. Okay, W is a W after all. Facts. That's a fact. Footy King says big win, definitely big win. Definitely big win here, man. Not Toe Jam and Earl. See, if you understand that reference, I love you forever. Toe Jam and Earl, that was a deep dive. Shout out to my 90s babies, man. Knowing you hate the Knicks, we're going to celebrate this win against them. Fuck who says otherwise. Absolutely. You know, I absolutely hate the Knicks. I like a lot of the players on I hate the Knicks franchise. I don't dislike, actually, this is probably the most liked team that the Knicks have ever put out as far as the players on the Knicks. But I still hate the franchise of the Knicks with a passion. Nail biter for sure, but a W is a W. Appreciate all the fire content. We appreciate you, Jay. And aggressive P. Will is a game changer. I mean, P. Will, and that's that. We've always said that, right? We've known that. This isn't new. If P. Will can ever stay aggressive, it's a huge thing there. Huge thing. Brunson hit some tough shot. Yeah, it wasn't like it was easy shots, right? And it's good that P. Will didn't foul in those moments. That shows a level of discipline as well defensively that he didn't foul in those possessions. So it pissed me off that at the beginning of the fourth, instead of putting Levine, who was flaming the Knicks, Billy keeps him out. I swear he doesn't make any adjustments. He just keeps the pre-planned ones. I mean, I gotta disagree in this game, but I will say this: like, it is. Billy Donovan is a very reactionary coach in the sense that I think sometimes he panics and he doesn't want to make the wrong one. I think that's a thing in that as well. Pat played great. Oh yeah, like listen, Pat was a dog today. Absolutely dog today. Showing his real basketball IQ. Zach showing his real basketball IQ down the stretch. Yeah, Zach played really good. Zach continues to play really good. Like, this is one of Zach LaVine's best seasons as far as basketball IQ, for sure. Like, it's still not perfect. 6 turnovers is still not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been really freaking good. Really freaking good. Considering how we played the last game, we definitely can beat the Cavs. I mean, the Bulls just got to stay locked in, and you got to limit the turnovers, right? That is something that limits the Bulls, that small margin that we talk about so often that the Bulls have there. That's something that definitely limits that when you have that many turnovers, because the points in the paint aren't going to stop. So Billy definitely was over there chewing that gum when Kobe doing all them turnovers to end the third quarter. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It was Kobe and the bench that run. See, yo, that 17-0 run in the building had me feeling wild. Bulls versus Knicks always electric, but surrounded by quiet Knicks fans when Jalen missed. Loved it. Hey, there's nothing better. And again, this is the pettiness. There is nothing at all better than when you're in an opponent's building and that moment after a game when you win and everybody who is the fan of the team that's there is just quiet and silent. It's nothing better. Literally nothing in the world better than that. Nothing. The run started when Vooch sat on the bench with his 4th foul. Yeah, and who else had a 4th foul? There's somebody else who had their 4th foul in this game as well. But yeah, like your vid from today said, Zach is playing the best, like the best player on the team. Just like I said, potential-wise, great to see. Now trade him. That's hilarious. And there's going to be a lot of people who consistently look at that as just through the lens of the trade value. And I can understand it, right? It just feels so good to win a hard-fought game rather than lose a hard-fought game, which has been most this season. Hey, you got a good point there. Other than the 2 20-point comebacks, you're right. They never showed a clear angle of that shot by Kobe when Hart fouled him. Did he actually foul him? I know they couldn't challenge because they had none left. I mean, it looked like a foul from what I saw. I mean, I wasn't there, so I mean, I only see the same angle that you did. Um, but hey, that's why you got to manage your challenges. I be crashing out on TikTok, so I can't even be mad at you roasting sessions anymore, laughing my ass off. These folks be so annoying. Yeah, it just is what it is, man. We gonna make the roasting sessions less and less though. Like I said, I'm saved. I'm not holy. We getting there though. We getting there. Cat cooked his hometown team. Glad the Bulls weathered the storm. Hey, listen, it's not a cooking if you don't win. You got hot. You got hot. So, and it's funny to see because Larry stopped getting traction over here, and now he's over in CHGO's chat saying the same exact thing. So it's just funny. The upcoming rematch against Cleveland is going to feel twice as intriguing if we do give them their first loss, more so because it'll be the NBA Cup. I think this Bulls team could fare well in the NBA Cup. I'm not saying they're going to win the NBA Cup or anything like that, but I do think they can fare well in the NBA Cup. So come on, man. Kobe's still in the game. Yeah, Kobe definitely. It was special. This game was filled with so many of those type of moments, though. So many of those moments. Bulls won the game based off a challenge in the first quarter. No, they won the game off still being able to execute because they even if Kobe White would have missed the free throws, they wouldn't have won the game. They won being able to execute games. So I timed him out, bro. He was continuing spamming aggressive. Oh, that's that. Well, good. The run happened around 6 minutes when Zach sub. We talked about that, Rob. JDH, yeah, I feel Billy should use his minutes in better situations. Man, here's the thing. There's always going to be like the rotations thing is here. Here's the thing. We're always going to bitch about rotations. I think that's a perspective that you need to have because runs are going to happen, and at any point in time, you're going to be able to say, "Ah, well, we should have." Like, keep in mind, what if they would have subbed Zach back in and the run wouldn't have went on, right? Or Zach LaVine wouldn't have had legs down the stretch. Oh, we brought him in too early. It's just it is what it is, man. And Cat did what he does, acted like a little biatch at the end, which is why the Wolves. Damn, a lot of y'all hate Cat. The hate for Cat is real. It's real. Billy Donovan not playing Smith in the fourth quarter, watching Towns have his way with Vooch, even on the foul play with 3 seconds and needed defensive stop. Why not? Because Jalen Smith is a terrible on-ball defender. That's what it is. People overlook because he gets things like blocks. But Jalen Smith is a terrible on-ball defender. Nikola Vucevic has actually been considerably better as an on-ball defender than Jalen Smith this season. Now, they're about even, with what Vuce usually gives, but Jalen Smith is not a good on-ball defender at all. Like, he's not Andre Drummond. He's not good at all in that sense. Jalen Smith is bad at on-ball defense. Jerry Reinsdorf loved that win when San Antonio picks using the Bulls pick. I might throw up. That's crazy. I like seeing Patrick be aggressive. More Vooch had some beef with Cat tonight. Well, I said it coming into this game. I won't even act like I didn't expect Karl Anthony Towns to go off for almost 50. But Karl Anthony Towns is not a good defender, and he's given up a lot of easy buckets at the rim so far this season. So there's that. The first half, you see potential of this team and the young guys going forward. Go Bulls. Agree with you wholeheartedly there. I know we're hyped after this one win, but if the team can gel like this, like they did early on, and today we can really surprise. We're just such rocks and diamonds, but even in losses, we show promise mostly. And that goes back to that thing that I've talked about with this team, right? This may be the team that has to learn how to win, right? They have to learn how to win. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Like it's a young team that has had a safety net in DeMar DeRozan, an amazing safety net for the last few years. And so this team has to learn how to win those close games. They have to learn how to close out those games. Kobe White getting to the free throw line to help seal this game, that's something. And he got to the free throw line 8 times in this game, right? That's something that's how you win games. That's how you ice games. You have to be able to get to the free throw line and get easy buckets, right? That calms down the runs of other teams, that gets you in a position to gain some confidence and get easy points up. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Towns went over the top of Vooch in the paint all night. We needed a big who can contest better. He should have tried Smith. He can alter shots. No, again, and Jalen Smith is a worse on ball defender, and he's smaller than Nikola Vucevic. So we could talk about Jalen Smith's verticality, but Jalen Smith isn't that type of rim protector. Jalen Smith gets blocks, weak side blocks, meaning that he's a good help defender. You're talking about you needed on ball defense against Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Smith wouldn't have done that. He just wouldn't have done that. So, that's just wouldn't have been there. Thank you for saying all the realness you do on this show. Hey, listen, I mean, that's what we try to do here, bro. That's what we try to do. Once Bulls master their pace, will be dangerous. So I expect success, but more so back half of the schedule. Well, it depends on what the Bulls do, because if you're listening to like some of the speculation around the Bulls, is that they're going to be heavy sellers at the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not saying necessarily believe that, but we'll see. We'll see. Is Zach or Vooch all-star bound? I don't think the Bulls are going to win enough to have that happen. Personally, I don't think that we're going to win enough to have that happen. But Giddey has had several bad scoring games this season. I mean, but Giddey's not a scorer. Yeah, Giddey's had bad scoring games, but his scoring isn't the thing that you're looking at the most from Josh Giddey. What he does as far as passing, what he does in getting players open. And really, when you look at it, Josh Giddey's only had 2 games this season of scoring in single digits. Only 2. I think people overlook that. Only 2 games in scoring in single digits this season, and this was the second one today. So, I mean, Giddey, for what he is and what his role is scoring wise, he's not a scorer, but he's doing a pretty good job at scoring. He's averaging almost 14 points per game. Modest is getting better, and this is why actually playing minutes helps, right? That's why it helps. I think Giddey missed Zach on the lob at the end of the game. That was a great play design at the end of the game. It was definitely good play design. Zach trade value increasing dramatically. I mean, hey, for those that, if that's what the Bulls' plan is, Zach LaVine's play definitely is going to be what hurts his trade value this year, if they're trying to trade him. All I'm saying is that if we get Malich this draft and we run a lineup of Giddey, Kobe, LaVine, Pat, Malich next year, the playoff team. That's the thing, though. We're probably not. I get what you're saying there, right? But I think that you are looking at it from a standpoint of I don't think this Bulls team is at the front office, right? Is trying to keep both those guys. I think they're trying to strike where the value's hot, but we'll see. We'll really see. Man, I love Io. Once his offense is consistent, he'll be a key player. He's a key player now, and you don't have to have offense be consistent to be a key player. He's a key player now, and because of the defense as well. Like what Io does defensively is what makes him a key player. And his offense is getting back to what it was last season, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. And if he is, and he does get back to there, but he's already a key. He's already a key. How many games did Giddey play in clutch minutes this season? That I have to go on the analytics site. I don't know that right now. I don't know that right now. Trade Vooch for Sabonis. If you think that the Kings will trade Vooch for Sabonis, let me know your dealer. I would like to meet them. I would like to know what they're lacing their stuff with to where you think that the Kings will give up Domantas Sabonis for Nikola Vucevic, considering we just are getting proof now that Vooch was limited somewhat by the fact that him and DeMar operated the same place. Giddey was in for the inbound pass, but was out on the defensive end. That's smart by Billy or whoever coach decided it. Using and managing your rotations, for sure. Vooch is definitely getting traded. I hope they keep Zach unless the price is right. I mean, what's that price? We'll see. Now, Patrick Williams need to play like this from now on. I mean, it's hard to play with that level of aggression every year, but I see what you're saying. I knew the Knicks would make a run to get back in the game. Kobe was poised down the stretch. Kobe made it, yeah, really good. I mean, when you look at the second half for Kobe White, he went 4 of 9 from the field for 15 points in the second half of this game, 5 of 5 from free throw, 2 of 5 from three-pointer as well. He also had 4 assists, 1 steal. Yeah, Kobe White played really good down the stretch. As well as Zach, Vooch, Kobe, and I are playing, this front office will still get low ball trade offer for any of them. I doubt that. I doubt that. It's if they take it, right? Man, this game was a thriller, but I'm glad the Bulls got it done tonight, especially with P. Will having his best game of the season. So far, I'm mad I couldn't watch the game live because of League Pass. Oh, well, yeah, that sucks. Listen, you got Stream East, my boy, Stream East. I reckon they won't trade Vooch or Levine. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Haize, would you be happy if the Bulls trade Zach and not get any draft comp? Hell no. What the fuck? What kind of answer? What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? That's like asking her, would you be happy if you get syphilis? No. No. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Is official Chicago is a better city than New York? I mean, yeah. Plus, Chicago, like, you may not be able to go to certain neighborhoods in Chicago, but we don't have rats the size of poodles. Like, we don't have that. We don't have that. Now you got to deal with the winter. You got to deal with the frost quakes. That is what it is. But you know what? I actually agree with you on that, Drift. I actually agree. I actually agree with you on that. That's I agree with you on that one. Good point. And aggressive PWO puts up 16 and 8 every night while maintaining good to great defense. I mean, I won't say 16 and 8 every night, because that's hard to maintain, but he definitely can be helpful in that case. Thankfully, the Knicks have a good announced team, as the Stream East didn't have the ball. Oh, I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. I hate listening to any broadcast team but the Bulls Like, I had to listen to the Cavs broadcast team when we faced the Cavs, and they were horrible. Horrible. Keep the team together and see what happens. I'm excited with what the Bulls have. Hey, we could be excited about it, but let's see what the front office thinks. The big one, that's funny. Bro, you would not be happy with just no, because I don't have to pay his contract. I don't have to pay it. I don't give a fuck about the contract. I'm not the one paying it. They ain't coming to me and be like, hey, Haize, can you put in on this Levine contract? No. So I don't care about the contract. I don't give a shit. I don't care about that contract one bit. I care about the state of the team. Don't care about that contract. Would you let Giddey finish the game instead of subbing him out for Cope? No. No. Not at all. Walt Frazier is fun to listen to, ain't gonna lie. I don't agree with that. But I mean, for me, right? I mean, everybody gets their own enjoyment out of things, but for me, it's like I'm good on that. Barkley said the Knicks were better than Cleveland last night. I mean, they could be in the long run. I don't know about that, but hey, we'll see. This close win is a realistic win because there's no way the Bulls team would have a blowout win. I get, you know what? I completely appreciate what you just said there, my boy. Completely appreciate that, man. Zach will be worth more at the end of the season as long as he's healthy. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree with that. I mean, he could be, but you got to think about it this way, right? The Bulls probably are looking at some salary cap filler and mainly prioritizing the draft. Once teams start knowing where their draft pick is, it's kind of hard. And also, I would say this, even a pick in the 20s in this draft is worth more than a pick 13 through 15 in next year's draft. So you got to look at that part of it as well. Listening to the Milwaukee broadcast hurts my soul in ways I will never. In all of, I'm sorry for my, listen, I know this is going to turn some people off, but I am black. I can say this. In all of niggerdom, I will never listen to the Milwaukee Bucks broadcast. I will more so turn on and listen to Chuck Swirsky on radio than I would listening to the Bucks broadcast. Period. Never. It's never going to happen. It won't happen. I'm not going to do it. I don't care what the options are. I ain't doing it. It's not happening. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. I love watching Levine and Vooch this season, but I know they're going to get traded, which is the right move, but it's still sad. Yeah, I mean, listen, and this goes back to how you build a team. And unfortunately, the Bulls built a team in a way that it took away some from like what Vooch and Zach could do. So, what teams do you think are in the are in our market if Levine and Vooch perform well? I kind of covered that. I had a whole episode on the Zach Levine trade rumor. Go and do that. I think that's you want that. You want that. Bro, Brooklyn. Listen, they all. You know what? The only so the announced teams that I do like. I do like the Warriors announced team. I do like, surprisingly enough, I do like Washington's. I hate the team, but I do like their broadcast team. I think they do a good job. Um, there's a couple of other teams in there, but largely everybody's trash. Everybody's trash. Can't wait for the Vegemite on toast. Haize low key, Giddy stays calm. Listen, I it is what it is, bro. Like I would love to see Giddy get a triple double. I would love to see it. Love to see it. But all right, y'all. I gotta get ready to go do Locked On Bulls. As you can hear, my voice is starting to go out because I was screaming at the TV. But I love you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. You mean the world to me. I can't stress enough everything that you guys mean to me in supporting this channel. If we got over 500 people in here, if you are not subscribed to the channel, go and subscribe to it. In exchange for that, I'll be delivering the best daily content for the Chicago Bulls that you will find on all of YouTube. When I say daily, I mean daily. We are right now at 1,247 straight days of releasing content on this channel. There's nobody else that does it like us. Plus, in the offseason, I'm giving the best draft analysis for the Chicago Bulls. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to a goal of 25,000 subscribers by the end of the season. We just passed 2,100 subscribers a couple of days ago. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. But otherwise, you guys can follow the channel at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, what happened to the caption? The number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.